Hello everybody and welcome back. So some of you may know, especially if you saw my Hogwarts themed birthday party video from last year, that I am an American Girl doll fan and I still have my collection, and I actually change their outfits every month to go with the holiday / theme for that month, because why not? I can be a big kid. But you might have also noticed that in that video I had another doll with them. And you might not even remember this doll collection because it was so short-lived, but I had the doll Kianna from the Teen Trends collection with them. And I just started putting her with them years ago, I think because she was kind of the same height as them, so I figured why not. The only problem though is because they only made so many outfits for those dolls, I don't always have an outfit for her to wear to coordinate with the theme of the other dolls. Sometimes I will put my dolls in 18th century outfits from Felicity's collection, and of course Kianna never had any of these outfits, so I had to make my own. So today, I am going to show you this 18th century robot à la Française I made for her. So in this video, you'll see my whole process for what went into making this outfit. Enjoy the video. So for those of you who don't know, a robe à la Française was a type of gown popular from roughly the 1720s to the 1780s. Translating literally to French dress, it was also known as a sack-back gown because of its distinctive box pleats that were at the back shoulders and fell loosely into a train. The front of the gown would have a decorative stomacher and petticoat. The first thing I did was make some pattern pieces for this gown using Kianna's measurements or just tracing it against her body. This, for example, is the back panel for the sack back. Then I cut it out of the silver satin material that I had left over pieces from a cloak I made. And some of these pieces are so tiny that it makes them a bit hard to stitch, as you'll see later on. Now, to make the sack back, I made markings on the muslin lining and pinned the box pleats in place. And once I have the shoulder seams in place, I will tack down the raw edge of those pleats on the underside. And here's what it looks like so far. I will stitch down that little opening on this side as well. Here's how the back pleats fall. And as you can see, this gown does have a train, which is true to the historical style. I stitched closed that opening on the side by pleating it flat. I used a healthy amount of machine and hand sewing for this dress, because while the bigger pieces could fit under my machine's presser foot, a lot of the smaller curved pieces couldn't, so I had to do those by hand. These are the pieces for the sleeve ruffles and the engagements. Engagements were sleeve ruffles that were detachable and were usually made of lace, linen, or cotton. I ended up going with the larger lace for this part. Historically, the engagements would be detachable, but I'm just sewing hers right onto the sleeve. And then I have the upper sleeve ruffle with a scalloped edge. On the upper sleeve ruffle, I used pinking shears to create the scallop cut around the top for 3 reasons. 1, it gives a fancy edge. 2, pinking is historically accurate. And 3, it helps prevent the fabric from fraying. And here is an example of the hand sewing I had to do due to the small circumference of the sleeve. I made tiny pleats in this upper ruffle as I wanted to give it flair around the arm. Here's the main body of the gown completed. The only thing really left is to sew on the front trim that you see hanging down here. Next, I made the petticoat using this light gray lace overlaid on white satin. This isn't exactly historically accurate, but it's pretty and fits the vision in my head, so I'm doing it. And here it is completed with the waistband with Velcro closures. Next came the stomacher, which is the decorative triangle that connects the two sides of the dress and closes it. I pinned a piece of paper under the open sides of the dress and traced a pattern for it. Then I too made that out of the white satin and the gray lace, and then used snap buttons to close it. Finally, I am making the ruffle trim for the front opening of the gown. I cut long strips at an angle so that the ruching gradually increases as you go down the dress, which you do occasionally see in period. I put a running stitch through the trim to create ruffles. Then I just stitched the trim onto the gown. And as a finishing touch, I added some bows to the sleeves. And here she is, all dressed up and ready to go to Versailles. Happy Halloween, everybody! Well, she's ready as Marie Antoinette for Halloween. Are you ready for Halloween? Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.